Hey folks, how are you? Welcome to Cruise Chat Live. How are you? Good to see you, YouTube family. I'm Walter with Where's Walter TV, and tonight is all about cruising and cruise questions, travel. Of course, you know, any questions that you have, and of course, we are a travel agency now. So if you need somebody to help you book a cruise or anything like that, certainly call on us. But tonight it's all about your questions, your tips, whatever you guys want to talk about. Desiree, wow, thank you. Good evening. How are you, Desiree? Good to see you. And you are a member on our Facebook page now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you are not on our private Facebook group yet, you really should come over. We've got a great group over there. I don't know, we're closing in on 250, or maybe we just crossed over 250 people. So it's a nice small group. And the whole point of that group is to share tips and information. And also, I love seeing your cruises. So many of you folks have been out there cruising, and I get to see what you all are doing. And it's just so much fun seeing all of that. So yay. So thank you, Desiree, for the sticker. Thanks for joining the group. Hey, Mark, ahoy. How are you? You are really close to heading out of town, aren't you? That is going to be very exciting. I really wish we were coming along on the ride. I bet you guys are going to have just an amazing, what, like 2.5 weeks or something like that? Very jealous. The wonder of the seas, Mr. Mark. You are going to have an absolutely fantastic time on that ship. I can't wait. I really hope that you guys post some really good pictures along your journey. I mean, you're going to be out there in the transatlantic for a while, so you might as well post some pictures while you're out there. But Mark, wow, that is so exciting. But to everybody, if you're new to the channel, I am Walter. I am an independent travel advisor. I have been cruising for almost 20 years with my dear wife, who is sitting right off camera. Doesn't like to be on camera, so I'm here. She is right off the side there. Hey, Rona, how are you? Good to see you. And, you know, we've been sharing our love of cruising for almost 20 years now. We've been going to the theme parks for about 25 years. And everybody knew, hey, if we're going on a cruise or we're going to theme park, we've got to call Walt and Rebecca to talk about it. So I started sharing tips here on YouTube and over on TikTok. Geez, I started on YouTube probably around 2016. I got my vlog and all of that. And just recently, we became actual independent travel advisors, thanks to all of you. Actually, on TikTok and YouTube, y'all asked if we could do it. So here we are. But all tonight is all about tips and information, sharing some cruise news and knowledge. So if you know anybody who's interested in a cruise, maybe they've never taken one and they're on the fence. It's like, oh, I've heard so many bad things about cruises and whatnot. Tell them to come on over. We're just sharing some good, useful, honest information. So Rebecca is laughing over here. What are we laughing at? The party has started. You're here. Yeah, the party doesn't start until Tristan shows up. So I really need to get some glowing shoes. So when you show up, I can just bring the shoes up and just start them glowing on the screen. That would be fantastic. Hey, Bill. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Danielle. Good to see you. Hey, if anybody was tuned into our TikTok on Saturday, Danielle was hanging out with me. Danielle is a fellow independent travel advisor. She's got an amazing group going on to one of the Norwegian ships. You got like 190 people or something going on one of the Norwegian ships. We're going to be talking about a group on here very, very soon. I'm very excited. We're starting to put together the very first Where's Walter group cruise. It's coming in 2023. I'm not going to tell you just yet, but I got a little teaser for it coming up very, very soon. But how's everybody doing out there? We are, I think, 68 days from Christmas. So a cruise would be a nice Christmas gift. Just saying, if you don't know what to get somebody, cruise might be a nice Christmas gift for somebody. And we are 60 days from getting on the Symphony of the Seas, our very first Oasis class ship. Those of you out there, if you've got a cruise planned out, what is your next ship? I'm very curious what ship you're going on, where you're going. Are we doing Eastern or Western? What are we doing?
Eastern.
We are doing the Eastern Caribbean. We sail on December 17th on the Symphony of the Seas, and we get off the ship on Christmas Eve. We don't get to spend Christmas. They're going to kick us off the ship and say, go home for Christmas. Hey, Andy, how are you? Good to see you, Andy. Welcome to the program. Good to see everybody out there. I hope everybody's having an absolutely amazing evening. Going to share a confession. I actually forgot all about the live stream. I've been so deep in redoing the whereswaltertravel.com website. And today I was working on our business cards, and it was a little bit after 5, and Rebecca goes, when are you going to get ready for the live stream? Oh, yeah, the live stream. I've just been so busy working on so much stuff. And hopefully tomorrow I'll have some holiday shirts up in the merch store. So if you haven't gone there yet, there's links to the merch store where you can get T-shirts like this. I got all kinds of fun T-shirts in there. Going to get some holiday shirts in there, hopefully tomorrow or the next day. And then also the sale pack stuff is in there. If you've seen the video recently that I did showing some of the awesome sale pack stuff, this is the phone case where you can actually put your phone underwater and shoot video and pictures. Really, really cool. But there's an affiliate link in the description below as well as on the website. So there's links to the merch store, there's links to the website, there's links to everything in the description of this broadcast, as well as if you go to Where's Walter Travel. Really cool stuff. And I especially love, this is still my favorite thing that they sent, this tote bag that just looks like your standard little canvas tote bag, but it's got the beautiful liner on the inside. So this is a waterproof tote bag. We're going to be having a good time with that. And I've got a waterproof backpack. Oh my gosh, definitely go check out the episode to see all of that stuff. It is so freaking cool. Oh, hey, Andra. I can't keep up with all your names, Andra. It's good to see you. Welcome to the show and welcome everybody. So we got some cool cruise news. Obviously, any questions, concerns that you guys have, throw them up there. Rebecca and I will do our very best to answer. If you've never been here before, my wife, Rebecca, sits just off camera over here, and she either scribbles down some great notes or she has a microphone over there. She has actually been chiming in, which has been so absolutely fantastic. One of the coolest things that's actually happening right now, Holland, America. The Rotterdam has set sail on the 150th anniversary cruise. And she's basically retracing the route from 1872, the original Rotterdam 1. Can you imagine what the cruise ships were like in 1872? I understand they were one of the first cruise lines to be purpose-built, like a cruise for vacationers, a cruise ship for vacationers. So I wonder what the cruise ship was like back in 1872. I mean, I'm assuming that they didn't have the buffet and the soda fountains and all of that. But yeah, she is. So she sailed on the 15th, Saturday the 15th, and it mimics the very first crossing of the Atlantic. Of the Rotterdam 1, which departed on October 15th, 1872. So to the day she started her cruise. It's a 12-night sailing coming across. She left from Rotterdam. She's coming to New York City. She's going to call into France, going to call into England before she heads out into the Atlantic Ocean. So that's really cool. Congratulations, Holland America. If you've never sailed Holland America, they are a very cool cruise line, and they are doing some really nice long haul cruises, as we call them, 17 days, 20 days, 35 days, 45 days, 100 days, round trip from the United States. So you don't have to fly to Europe. So you can go to Europe, you can go to Africa, you can go to Asia without having to fly outside of the United States. They're sailing from San Diego, Boston, and down here in Florida, as far as I know. amazing cruises on Holland America. And Holland America is just a great little cruise line. They're very classic. You know, you're not going to find a water slide on Holland America, but you're going to find some really, really good food as well. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. But I love it. I love it. I mean, so cool. 150 years of cruising. Can you imagine that? 150 years for one company. I mean, and they've been in Alaska for 75 years as of this year. So I can't even imagine cruising Alaska like 75 years ago, what that must have been like. Wow. That would have been like super, super interesting. So, man, wow. So congratulations, Holland America. If you guys got any questions at all, certainly drop them in here. Any questions or concerns, join the Facebook group for sure. Come on over and join. We got about 250 people. And of course, if you got a vacation coming up, just let us know. We would love to help you guys out. What else is happening? Hey, the Valiant Lady is on her way over right now. She is crossing the Atlantic coming over. This will be the first time that we will have two Virgin Voyages ships in Miami. I don't know if Miami can handle it, but we're going to have two ships here in Miami. I tell you what, the party is going to be on, and Sir Richard himself is coming over for the Mermaiden voyage, which will be October 30th from Miami. The Valiant Lady is going out. It's going to be a Halloween cruise, so that should be even more fun with Sir Richard. But he's going to be on the ship. And let's see. So she's coming over right now. She's going to be here until April. Then she'll go back over to the Mediterranean. But so we're going to have two ships. And the Valiant will be doing 6, 7, and 8 nights. Scarlet Lady will continue to do 4 and 5 nights. So that'll definitely be something that will be a ton of fun. For sure. If you've not done Virgin Voyages yet, you're kind of wondering what Virgin Voyage is all about. I have a whole playlist right here. I can tell you the food was ridiculous. It was so good. I would love to be on that Mermaiden, but I definitely want to get onto one of these Valiant Lady cruises before she goes back over, because 5 nights was not enough on the Scarlet Lady. I would love to do one of those 8 nights on the Valiant before she scoots back over across the pond. And while we're talking about Virgin Voyages, they are running their first ever Eat and Drink month. The month of November is Eat and Drink month. And they're giving you a $300 bar tab. So the bar tab is actually really cool. I wish some of the other cruise lines would start looking into something like this. I like this idea. So a typical drink package is applied to you individually. You cannot buy any drinks for anybody else. But the way Virgin has set it up, it's a prepaid bar tab. So you buy it in $300 increments. You got to buy it before the cruise. Once you're on the ship, you can't add to the bar tab. Then you're just going to be paying like you normally would. But the cool thing about the bar tab, it's for all drinks for anybody. So if you want to buy a round of drinks, or you want to buy some coffee for a friend, or you want to buy cocktails for the table, you can. You can just go ahead and use the bar tab. It's not restricted like the drink packages are. So I think that's actually really cool. And I would love to see some of the other cruise lines, you know, yeah, you can still have the drink package, but it would be neat if you had a bar tab version as well, where it's like, hey, I'm going to put in $500 towards the drinks, and if I want to buy drinks for other people, I can do that. So,
and Virgin adds a certain amount depending on what the special is at the time. Usually somewhere between $50 and $100 to your $300 you already bought.
Oh, are they? Well, but not for this deal. This is the $300 that they're giving away.
But if you're buying the $300,
if you're buying the $300, and in fact, the other thing that you see on the screen right now, Virgin is literally offering 25% off each sailor's voyage for every single 2022 and 2023 cruise. Literally, every cruise, each sailor will get 25% off the voyage fare. And as Rebecca mentioned, they're adding $100 to the bar tab. So if you buy a $300 bar tab, they'll drop $100 on. You're going to have $400. And this applies to all 3 ships. Yes, there will be 3. The Resilient Lady is coming out early in 2023. She's actually done. She was coming out this year, but they said they couldn't get enough crew, and they were concerned about supply chain issues. So they literally just parked the ship for a while. So Resilient Lady is done, ready to go. She's coming out early in 2023. So this 25% off applies to all 3 ships. You just got to book by November 15th. As long as you book by November 15th, you get 25% off on Virgin Voyages. That's pretty doggone good. And it's pretty cool that they are even including the third ship. Now, the fourth ship, Brilliant Lady, is also scheduled to come out late in 2024, but she's not included in this because I don't know that they have a specific date announced yet for the Brilliant Lady. But the Brilliant Lady, I believe, is the one scheduled to go to Australia, but I'm not entirely sure. I know one of the ships is scheduled to go to Australia. I believe Brilliant and Resilient and Valiant are going to be doing Europe, and Brilliant's going to head on down to Australia, and then we'll have the Scarlet Lady over here. So that's going to be awesome. So that is, I mean, and this is a legit 25% off. You know, a lot of times I'll tell you guys like, oh, the sale is useless. This is actually a legit sale. This is totally a legit sale. So if you're asking about Virgin Voyages, I loved it. I mean, I thought I was going to.
She was talking about Norwegian earlier. So I'm not sure which.
Yeah. So, Andy, I'm not sure if you're talking about Norwegian because I saw you and Tristan were having a conversation there about Norwegian, or if you're asking about Virgin. But if you're asking about Virgin, Virgin is awesome. I fully expected to be a one and done when we first went on the Scarlet Lady because I saw all the blogs and it looked like it was just going to be too weird. But it wasn't weird at all. It was actually just very adult. One of the crew members said it's like an adult summer camp. I think that's a great way to describe it. I mean, I think it really is a great way to describe it. So you're talking about Norwegian. Okay. The Norwegian Cruise Line is awesome too. We have been on the Getaway, Norwegian Getaway, and we were on the Norwegian Escape. Actually, the Escape was the first ship that we went on last Thanksgiving after the pandemic. That was our first cruise back. I will say that was a glorious cruise because there were only 1,800 people on that ship, and that ship holds like 4,200 or something like that. So we were at very low capacity, so that was lovely. But what I love about Norwegian is their specialty dining is really, really good. The entertainment, really, really good. I think the main dining is, you know, okay. Some people are going to like it. Some people aren't. For me, it's just kind of middle of the road. I like their specialty dining much more. I really love Food Republic. If you get a ship that has Food Republic on it, and in fact, the Prima expanded Food Republic. It's like 3 or 4 times the size of what it is on the Escape. And of course, the Prima has the Indulged Food Hall, which I think one-ups what Virgin Voyages did with the galley. You know, Virgin Voyages is a big deal. They came out with the galley as a food hall style. But the problem with it is when it's busy, they want you to flag down a server who has to take your order in, and then bring your food back. And because, you know, everything is a different stall, you may not all get the food at the same time. You know, your eggs may come out first, and then 10 minutes later, the taco comes out. And it really doesn't work that well. The galley works great when it's quiet and you can just walk up to the food server. Well, the way Norwegian set it up, you do actually go to the individual stations, or you place the order with a touchpad. And that's how it is in Food Republic. They have touchpads in the Food Republic, and it's absolutely fantastic. So you can just go ahead and and sit down and place your order, and then the food will come to you. So what are cruise first on Norwegian? Rebecca's actually pulling that up right now.
I kind of know, but
go ahead.
It's basically instead of the onboard deals for booking a future cruise, it's the not onboard deals for booking a future cruise.
Gotcha.
So
gotcha.
you're buying a certificate.
So yeah, just like I think Tristan was saying earlier that he's got like a $300 voucher or something like that. Where that's one of the things that Norwegian sells. We did it one time too. We were on the ship and they gave us $300 that we could put towards another cruise. And it's a use it or lose it deal, but we had like 3 years to book the cruise.
Yeah, it's 3 years for the cruise first too.
Yeah, and it's 3 years for the cruise first as well. So basically what you're doing, you're just buying a deposit.
Yeah. You pay $150 for $300 off any 6-day or longer cruise.
There you go. So you put in $150, they give you $300 off, but you haven't selected a cruise yet. You can select the cruise later. So basically you're paying first and then you cruise later. So it's really not cruise first, it's pay first, cruise later. But it sounds much better if we say cruise first.
Well, I think they had to differentiate between the one they did on the ship, which is cruise next.
Cruise next. Yeah. So So basically, you know, for saying that you're going to cruise on Norwegian, they're asking you for $150, and then they're going to give you $300 off any cruise of 6 days or longer. And that's the only rule. It's got to be 6 days or longer.
And you have to use it within 3 years of buying it.
You do have to use it within 3 years, which
you lose it.
Should be easy, but you know, we actually almost ran out of time with ours.
Pandemic.
Yeah, and then the pandemic came in, so you know it got extended because of the pandemic. But it is funny how quickly 3 years will go by, and you're like, oh my God, I still haven't used my thing yet. How did I do that? You're welcome, Andra. Glad we could help you out. Definitely, you know, everybody is different. There's like so many different things that all the cruise lines try to do to entice you to, you know, obviously book a cruise while you're on the cruise line. This is an interesting program that Norwegian is running. So basically it's almost like being on the ship. They're kind of giving you the same idea. But, you know, we always encourage you, anytime you're on a cruise ship, go to the, whatever they call it, the future cruise desk, go there and find out, well, what are they offering? Because you never know. It could have literally changed that day as you walked up to the person, and you may get a good deal. You know, very often it isn't like the best deal in the world, but very often it's a small deposit. That's one of the best things. Like you may get someday where it's like, oh, it's just $100 deposit holds, you know, your $5,000 cruise, and like, awesome. Okay, I'll take that. So yeah, always go to that desk and find out what they're offering. And then if you have a travel agent, it's no big deal. You book it on the cruise ship, and then they just transfer the booking over to the travel agents, and then the travel agent can take care of you the rest of the way. Need to make any changes or whatever else. But if you're on the ship, by all means, go ahead and book it, and then they can just transfer it over to the agent and make it that much easier. So yeah, great question. Great question. Are we all excited? While I wait for the next question, are we all excited for the icon? They've been teasing this. Oh my gosh, there is a thread, no lie. If you go on Cruise Critic right now, I think they're up to page 75. This thread started, I want to say in 2018, 2019, when the ship was first announced, and they have been following the build. Somebody has been taking drone photos and ground photos literally since the first piece of steel showed up. So if you want to see the icon get built, you can go to Cruise Critic. You can go into the Royal Caribbean thread. It's right there on the front page because it's updated all the time. And there's like 75 pages of this. And now, you know, Royal's finally at the point where they can't hide it anymore. The bow is now finished. The whole ship from the outside is almost finished from all the pictures that we've been seeing. Now they're about ready to put the massive dome up in the front. They've got the whole bowl just sitting there. Now, Nick Weir, who is the head of all entertainment for Royal Caribbean, teased today or yesterday on Twitter a picture of a robotic arm with the word, Now, if you know Royal Caribbean's Quantum class ships, they have the 270 nightclub or the 270 lounge. And they use the robotic arm to swing the big video screens around during the show.
Isn't that where they also do the drone stuff in the shows?
I honestly don't know. I've never seen it. It might be. But I can tell you that he showed a picture of that bowl, that empty bowl with the robot arm. So there's going to be robotics in there doing something or other, to which I replied with the Robotron from MSC and said, oh, you're going to have a bunch of these in there? He's like, no. So, but yeah, it is a big ship, Tristan, for sure. Interestingly enough, I think it holds fewer passengers. In fact, I know it holds fewer passengers than the Oasis class, but technically in gross tonnage, it will be a bigger ship. But it sounds like what they did is they put more public space, more things to do, took out some of the cabins. They didn't overload it with like 6,700 people or whatever. I think the maximum capacity, if I'm correct, and I may not be, it's like 5,500. I think it's like around 5,100 is full, and then 5,500, 5,600 is, 110%, 115% capacity, whatever it is. So it actually carries fewer passengers than the Oasis class, but she's going to be bigger than the Oasis class. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't know if you all have seen the animation that's running on the page, but there's purple lights under the ship in the animation. So I'm kind of curious, Virgin Voyages lights up their wake with these beautiful purple lights, which I didn't know about until we were on the ship. And I looked out, I'm like, oh my God, the whole wake is lit up. It's awesome. But this one is literally showing like purple lights down in the water. So I'm kind of curious whether they're putting lights underneath the ship or right along the edge of the ship so they can go ahead and have a little purple glow going on. That could be a lot of fun. But man, she is a big ship. She is a really big ship. And the bow is quite interesting. She's got a very long, like a snout, a really long snout coming off the front. They just finished connecting up the entire bow, and that's why I guess now Royal Caribbean is like, okay, we're gonna tell you everything about it. So Rebecca is holding up a note here: 5,600 passengers and 200,000 gross tons. That would not make her the largest ship.
It's the largest quantum class.
That's not Icon. I'm talking about Icon. Icon is not a quantum class ship. Icon is an Icon class.
Well, larger than the quantum class. Okay.
Well, she's supposed to be bigger than the Oasis class.
No, slightly smaller.
She's supposed to be bigger. That's what they said. It's going to be the largest cruise ship in the world.
Not according to Royal Caribbean
I guess
blog.
we're going to find out.
If Royal Caribbean blog is telling the
If
truth.
Royal Caribbean blog is telling the truth, then Royal Caribbean's been lying to us the whole time. But the CEO of Royal Caribbean is quoted as saying it will be the largest cruise ship in the world. So now maybe he's going to change the rules and go, well, actually it's longer but it always goes by gross tonnage. That's the most confusing part of it. It's all by gross tonnage, which is a measurement of the inside of the ship. Just look it up. I can't explain it. Just look it up. But basically it's just, they can reconfigure some walls. They can add an extra room. They can put a closet in, and suddenly this ship is bigger than that ship. I don't quite get it. It's all like funny math to me. So, hey, Kenneth, how are you? Good evening. Welcome to the broadcast. We have not revealed the anything about the group cruise yet. Yes, there is a group cruise coming in 2023. Rebecca and I have been talking about it. Actually, we've been talking about this for a while. I've been wanting to do a Where's Walter cruise for a while, and I just never really figured out, well, how are we going to do it? What are we going to do? And we finally hit on something today. And in fact, if you are in the Facebook group, we've had a poll going because I kind of have a ship and a time frame in mind. Well, the time frame's now been set, but I've had a ship in mind, and I put it out to the group. So if you were in the Facebook group, you've actually had a say in this. And yeah, so, and we've been looking at what you all are saying in the Facebook group. So yeah. Well, Danielle, I hope you're able to come. I will tell you right now, it's during the school year. So it's not, during the broadcast, we actually talked about Thanksgiving, and we decided not to do it at Thanksgiving because, so many people have the holidays and all of that. I didn't want to go ahead and throw a group cruise in during a big holiday. So I just didn't want to do that. So unfortunately, I will tell you, it is during the school year, but maybe you can take the week off and come with us. It will be 7 nights. We'll be in the Caribbean. I guess I'm talking about it. I should just, right? We're halfway into the show anyway. I should just say something about it, right? Should I? No, I don't know. Rebecca's kind of going back and forth. Okay, here we go. So save the date. Right now, we are looking at March 5th, 2023. It will be a 7-night Caribbean cruise. We will be leaving from Florida. Might be Port Canaveral, might be Fort Lauderdale, might be Miami, won't be Tampa. I'll tell you, it won't be Tampa, but it will be one of those 3 other ports. But save the date if you can. If you can come along with us, it should be really a lot of fun. And if you're wondering, well, why did they pick March 5th? That's kind of a weird date. Well, it's right between our birthdays. Rebecca and I are the same age. She was born in February. I was born in March. And this actually lands right between. So it's going to be a birthday cruise for us. So come along and celebrate our birthday. I want you all to sing very badly, happy birthday to both of us.
And yes, I am a full 25 days older than
Yeah, Walter. She's 25 days older. She robbed the cradle. So it was really cool. A few years ago, we celebrated our 10th anniversary and 50th birthdays all at the same time. It was actually kind of cool on the cruise.
20th anniversary.
20th anniversary. We've been married a lot longer. Yes, I know. Sometimes it feels like it's been 10 years. But yeah, 20th anniversary and 50th birthday. We did 3 cruises that year. That was a lot of fun. So if you can, at least save the date. It will be a 7-night cruise going out on Saturday, March 5th. Rebecca and I will be working the rest of this week. In fact, we're going to be talking possibly with Danielle and also our coach, Maureen, on figuring all of this out. We've never put together a group cruise, so we will be figuring all this out. But that is the idea that March 5th, 2023, we will take a 7-night cruise together. I really hope you all can come along. I hope as many people on our TikTok and YouTube channels can come along. It should be a load of fun. Yeah, 19 cruises match March. Yeah, so you just have to figure it out. Yep. I'm not going to spill the beans yet. I don't want to, obviously, I don't want to tell you guys yet anyway, because this is all subject to change. We do need to, one of the really cool things is that we get to work directly with a cruise line on these things. Danielle, as I mentioned earlier, she's putting together like 190 people on a Norwegian cruise right now. And she's talked about how fabulous the business development manager at Norwegian has been to work with. In fact, he's been out on the Prima while they're working together. So that's one of the really cool things about becoming a travel advisor. We now have specific people who are assigned to the travel agency. So IntelliTravel is the agency behind us. We are independent travel advisors. So IntelliTravel has specific business development managers at each cruise line who are assigned to us to work with us. And that's really, really cool. So we have not talked to them yet. We just, Rebecca and I, about 2 hours ago, we finally nailed down the ship and the date. And so we know what that is. And then we're going to spend the rest of this week putting that all together. And when I'm ready to make it, maybe next Monday on the live, we'll go ahead and announce the actual dates. But I will tell you, if you're in our Facebook group, you're going to know first. Because the Facebook group will find out first before anybody else. It's a private Facebook group. Let me go ahead and put that up there. If you are not in the Facebook group, there's a link actually right here in the description as well. Come on over and join the Facebook group. But, other people have like the Patreon accounts and all of that where, you can see stuff early or you can get special access or whatever. That's our Facebook group. Just come on in, join the Facebook group, join in. If you got questions and answers, I'm not spamming that group or anything, but just come on over. So Mark, you are so funny. You are absolutely hysterical. When do you leave? Are you leaving this week? You must be leaving this week, right, Mark? I would think, man, you are heading on over to Europe to get on that big old Wonder of the Seas. Man, she's a big ship. She's a really big ship. And I think the new show is finally on it. It's a sequel to a show that's on another ship that's extremely popular, that was not ready when the ship first came out, but now I believe like the Elementers or the Effectors. Yeah, Effectors 2. Supposed to be a really good show. I know the original show was really, really good, according to Stephanie, and she was really looking forward to seeing this. So I think you're going to see that on there. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that should be really, really cool. So yeah. So keep the date open if you can. I mean, I know it will be in the school year and all of that. I will tell you that it's not Virgin Voyages. I will tell you that specifically because I did not want to, eliminate families. If you want to bring some of your kids on board and whatnot, I was not going to pick the adult-only ship just so it is still open. So that's the only hint I will give you. Is not Virgin Voyages. It is one of the other cruise lines out there. So that narrows it down by 20. Something like that. I don't know. We were looking at a whole bunch, but it should really be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a fun ship. I hope it's going to be a fun ship. I'm really excited about doing this. And it'll be new for all of us. Talking of ships, this is really cool. Pretty impressive. As I close out the news, so I can't see it anymore. I'm using Rebecca's computer here. It's very, very sensitive. But the Carnival Ecstasy, let's get that on there. Carnival Ecstasy just finished 30 years. I mean, 30 years. I'm just blown away that they just finished out 30 years, 5.5 million guests over 30 years, actually 31 years. It was absolutely freaking amazing, absolutely unbelievable. And one of the really cool things is John Heald, who is the ambassador. He is the brand ambassador. He held an auction on the ship where they actually auctioned off bits and pieces of the ship, which was actually pretty darn cool. And they raised almost $40,000 for the St. Jude's Hospital. And one of the cool things that they auctioned off actually was the opportunity to blow the ship's whistle for the last time. Some gentleman paid $4,000 for the honor of blowing the ship's whistle for the last time with guests on it. And it was during a morning announcement that John Heel did. I posted the video on the Facebook page. It was actually pretty darn cool. You know, I mean, you might say, I mean, you know, whatever you think about those ships, those are older ships, they're smaller ships. They carried 5.5 million people. It went for 31 years. And that's pretty doggone cool. They raised $40,000. She went out with a sold out cruise. I mean, the cruise was completely sold out.
Well, and it's nice too, because unlike all the ships that went by the wayside during the pandemic, she got that last cruise.
She did.
So that's nice.
Yeah. And what is that? That's the fantasy class. Apparently, people just love the fantasy class. In fact, I'm kind of surprised. You know, you think Carnival, if people love those ships so much, they should just build a modern version of them. You know, now they're moving to the 5,500, 6,000 passenger ships, but there is still a market for the smaller ships out there. And we do see other cruise lines still building smaller ships. So it would be interesting to see Carnival, you know, maybe come back out and build maybe a couple more of these smaller ships. Obviously, the Costa ships that they're getting, they are smaller than the Mardi Gras. They're still bigger, but they're a little on the smaller side. So it is interesting. So Mark, oh, that's right. You still have to pass the COVID test because you're going over to Europe. So there's still some restrictions over there. Yeah. Well, hopefully that works out well, Mark.
Is that Tuesday tomorrow or a week from tomorrow?
Tuesday.
So tomorrow?
Oh, a week from Tuesday, Mark, or tomorrow? Yeah, I'm assuming next week, right? Since you said Tuesday and not tomorrow. Yeah, because you got to pass COVID test. So yeah, okay. Wow, that's going to be exciting, Mark. It's going to be so exciting. But you know, hats off to John Heel. Nice job. Apparently, he had to chastise some people because they were trying to pull signs down off the ship. One gentleman apparently tried to walk off with a dining room chair. I guess I just figured the ship's being scrapped anyway. We'll just take stuff, but that's not the way to do it. But that is really cool. Congratulations to everybody on board, and way to go, John, for raising $40,000 for the St. Jude's Hospital. That's cool. And if you want to see the video, just go in the description, come join our Facebook group. I posted a video in there from John Heel of that. It was actually a gentleman and his mom paid $4,000 for the honor to blow the ship's whistle one last time. So that was extremely cool. So congratulations to all. I can't imagine a ship going, you know, look at the Carnival Mardi Gras. Will that still be sailing 30 years from now, 31 years from now? I don't know. I'll be kind of surprised. So Christian's asking the Encore or the Escape. Well, we haven't been on the Encore yet. I see Rebecca's looking it up. I can't remember if the Encore is also a breakaway class. The Escape is a breakaway class. In fact, she might be a breakaway class plus. I'm not sure if she is or not. But the Escape was a great ship.
Encore has the...
the racetrack?
Yeah.
So the big difference is the racetrack. They're both going to be, and the restaurants might be slightly different. So they're both breakaway class. So Encore definitely breakaway plus.
And their show is Kinky Boots.
What? On Encore? Oh, they got Kinky Boots on Encore. When we were on Escape, they
it was that jazz one, the Midnight at the something.
Oh, Midnight. Yeah, it had the Cottonwood and all that stuff. Yeah, it was a jazz show. So that was a good show too. But just in terms of the show and the go-karts, I would go Encore because Kinky Boots is a great show. I don't know if Encore has the Food Republic.
I'm looking at that.
If it doesn't, that would lean me back over towards Encore. But then again, the go-kart looks like so much fun. I'm not sure if that's the original go-kart. I know that the go-kart tracks got larger with each ship. So whichever one got it first has the smallest go-kart track. Obviously, the Prima is the only one with the triple decker. And the Prima has the laser guns too, where like you can actually, if you hit the target on the back of the cart, then they get a boost in the go-kart.
They do have Food Republic.
Oh, they do have Food Republic. So they both have Food Republic. And then I would take the Encore. I'd probably take the Encore if you want to try out the go-kart. Now, the go-karts are an extra fee, and they're not cheap. So I want to say it could be even upwards of $100 to do the go-kart. So if that's something that you're like, I don't really need to pay for that, then go on the Escape. Escape's a great ship. She has the Tobacco Road bar, which I don't know if the Encore does, but that Tobacco Road bar is fabulous. That's where I was getting my old fashioned. One of the cool things about Norwegian too that might surprise people, they have a cigar bar, or actually a cigar lounge. So the Tobacco Road bar is the bar for the cigar lounge. Now they have a small cigar lounge there. Prima actually has a pretty big one, I believe. But Norwegian's one of the few ships that actually has a cigar lounge where you go sit, have your drinks, you can smoke a cigar, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's rather interesting. So yeah, so given a choice between those two, if it were me, because I want to do the go-karts, I'd probably go on the Encore. But if you don't care about spending $100 to go do go-kart, then go on over to the Escape. Both good ship. Very good ship. Oh, Danielle, look at that. You can get an unlimited pass for the go-karts for $200. Yeah, that's what I would go for. And of course, Danielle, you would know that because you've been putting together that whole package for Norwegian. That's awesome. I need to write that down in my little notes on the side there. Thank you for that. That's awesome. $200 for the week. You know, our friends Stephanie and Sean did it, and they said it was just an absolute blast. That track on the Prima looks ridiculous, but they all look like fun. I think it's really awesome. I mean, you know, you're not talking about going on a simulator or anything like that. You're talking about actually going on a real go-kart at sea.
And they're electric, right?
Yeah, they are electric.
Yeah, so that's my favorite part because regular go-karts, I don't like the smell. It makes me sick. So
you mean like Tomorrowland Speedway?
Yes. So I would actually go on an electric go-kart thing.
See that? I would love. Who wants to see Rebecca on a go-kart? Yes. Yes. I want to see Rebecca on a go-kart. This is going to be awesome. I
don't do the normal ones because they stink.
Yeah, well, they do smell. Yeah, so like I said, Tristan, it is around, if I recall correctly, it's around $100. It might be less. It might be more like 80. But, you know, yeah, it is a pretty good fee. Danielle, do you happen to know how long they actually run? I can't remember how long each circuit is. And you're basically, I think you are racing each other, but more so you're racing the clock. So you're trying to get the best clock. Like I used to do the Malibu Grand Prix in Atlanta, and we were always racing the clock. That was a lot of fun, and I definitely want to do that. So yeah, but yeah, I've been meaning to look up to find out just how. I bet it's a little bit different on all of the. See, I would pay for that before I do the Bolt on the Mardi Gras because I think that's just really cool. You know, you got control of it. I'm watching some of these people drive in some of these videos. I'm like, oh my God, they don't know how to do this at all. They're all like cutting it. They're all like coming into the turn and cutting real close to the inside edge. It's like, no, you come in on the outside and then you diamond it. You know, so people, if you're coming into a turn, right, you stay on the outside of that turn and then you diamond it and you cut right through the middle. You don't come to the turn on the inside and try to go really slow around the inside of the turn. No, you come in real fast on the outside, diamond it, and go right through. That's how you get through those corners fast, and that's how you win. Totally how you win. Not don't do what I see a lot of these people doing on the videos. I'm like, what are you people doing? You don't know how to drive a go-kart.
That would be me.
That would be you. I'd probably be spinning you out on the first lap. No, I would just be gone. Just be gone. But
I definitely don't know if I'd want to spend that much money though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is expensive. Yeah, $200. I totally would.
Yeah,
I'd be up there every day.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would. Like,
Yes.
like for me, it would be worth it. It would be worth me spending $200 on it because I would literally be up there every day having fun with it. If you're not going to be up there every single day, well, I guess let's say it is $100. So if you plan to do it 3 times, well, then it's worth it, right? So yeah, because I haven't done the training on Norwegian yet. That's my next one. I definitely got to do some training on Norwegian. We're getting there. We are now officially Commodores at Princess. So Rebecca has really done a lot of training on Princess so far. So now we are officially Princess Commodores. So we're right up there and for booking cruises. That's one of the things, you know, you got to go into the training on all these different cruise lines, and everybody does it differently. Why can't they all do it the same way? Every cruise line, even like, you know, Carnival owns Princess, but they do it 2 completely different ways. It's like, why can't all of Carnival do it the same way? No. But I think on the Royal Caribbean side, it does seem to be similar, if I recall, all the trainings in one thing. So at least on the Royal Caribbean side, it should be a little easier.
This is, according to the points guy, as of August 2022, it is $15 per ride on the go-karts.
Oh, so they really brought it down.
No, that's actually up from where it was.
Oh, okay. Because Steph and Sean were saying it was like $100
Well, they
to
might
do
have
it.
bought a day pass.
Oh, they might have bought a
full
day pass for
pass.
100. Yeah, that might have been what it was.
$15 per ride.
$15 per ride. Okay. And thepointsguy.com. Thepointsguy.com. Good website to follow. Got all kinds of great information in there on cruising and flights and all kinds of stuff.
It says on the Prima it costs $20.
On the Prima, it's
I guess because that's 3 stories, 3 level.
So Danielle's saying, I'm not sure. It says no more than 30. Well, yeah, I don't think you could go much more than 30 miles an hour on the boat and keep it in, or on the ship and keep it in. Oh, there you go. 8 minutes long. It was an 8-minute session. That's actually a pretty long session. You know, when you're on the cart and going around, you're going to feel that. That is, your arms are definitely going to feel it after about 5 minutes. Because I remember on the Malibu Grand Prix, which is 1 lap at a time. You know, you paid for like 3 or 4 laps, but you did 1 lap and then you stopped. And then you did another lap, and man, my arms were like feeling it. So 8 minutes. Thank you, Danielle, for finding that. Okay, so it's $15 or $20. You know, the Prima's $20, and the other ships are $15. So yeah, so maybe they bought a day pass.
The Prima goes a little faster. I think the points guy said the Prima can go up to 40 miles an hour.
That could be because she's got a bigger track. So that kind of makes sense. If you got a bigger track, a little bit more straightaway. Plus, Prima is 3 levels, so she has some pretty good straightaways coming down. So, but thank you, Danielle. That's awesome. And as I said earlier, you know, Danielle is one of our fellow independent travel advisors. She's in the same group I'm in. We're with Maureen Adams. She's our coach. And Danielle actually lives not too far from us. We can meet up at Disney from time to time. So you might see her pop up on some more live, but we had a great time on the TikTok live on Saturday. So just remember, we're here Monday nights at 7, and then we're over on TikTok on Saturday mornings at 10:30. We just so happened to be in Disney this past week. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you, Danielle. That's awesome. 8 minutes long. You're going to be, I think you're going to want to get out of the cart after about 8 minutes, you know, maybe 10 minutes at the most, because you are wearing the full helmet. They make you put on like that fire mask underneath. I've seen the pictures of everybody. You got to put on that fire mask underneath, and then you put the full racing helmet on. So yeah, so I think after 8-10 minutes, you are definitely going to want to get out of that thing, because you're going to be hot, especially in the Caribbean. But it looks like so much fun. So I would probably do 200 for the week. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. Rebecca would, but I would just, you know, Rebecca can go sit out by the pool.
I just wouldn't enjoy doing it that much.
No, you may not even enjoy doing it once because of the whole mask setup.
Yeah,
I think you'd have to watch it one time to see if you even want to do it. But me, I totally want to do it. I want to go up there and just have a grand old time.
On the Quantum class, I'll do those.
Bumper cars, and the bumper cars are free. So on the Quantum class, the bumper cars are free, and the iFly is free, as far as I know. At least they were, but they were included just like the Flow Rider. There were no extra fees for any of those things. Now that could have changed, but from what I understood, the iFly and the bumper cars and the Flow Rider and all that was free, and the ice skating as well. So yeah, wow, that is a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff going on. That's cool though. That is really cool. And if you're just tuning in a little bit late, again, save the date if you can. If you'd like to come cruise with Rebecca and I, we're setting up a group cruise for March 5th, 2023. That's the date we're looking at. That happens to be right between our birthdays. So it'll be a birthday cruise for us and hopefully a group cruise for everybody else. All we're saying right now is that it's a 7-night cruise out of Florida. It won't be out of Tampa, but it might be out of Port Canaveral, Miami, or Fort Lauderdale. The only thing we'll tell you that it's not Virgin Voyages, because we want to make sure that if families want to come on board, they can come join with us. But it will be an opportunity for all of us to say hello and just, you know, finally meet in real life. I've met some of you in real life, and it's just so much fun. I'm so glad that we've all kind of made a little community here. I'm so glad that y'all are getting something out of this, because I really had no idea when I started this channel. I just wanted to start sharing some honest information. I saw so much bad information about cruising out there. I just wanted to start sharing some honest information. And cruising isn't for everybody, but it's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. It's a lot more fun. Oh, so what do you got?
Bumper cars are free. iFly costs money.
Oh, iFly costs now. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere between $30 and $50 depending on demand. So
there you go. So the iFly is $30 to $50 supply and demand. So when it's busier, probably on sea days, it's going to be $50. Maybe on port days, it's going to be $30. Kind of like the Spa. The Spa always has discount. So there we go. So the iFly does cost. I really want to do that too. Really, really want to do that. A couple of cool things happening out there. Carnival finally ended their mask requirement for the cruise. I've been seeing pictures all over Twitter. I got some friends right now at This Cruise Life. They are on Horizon maybe, but they've been posting. It's really fun. They've been posting pictures because they were just on the ship recently of them a few months ago, all wearing masks, and now without the mask. So it's kind of fun. So they're now optional for the crew. I know on a couple other cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, I believe, I think Norwegian as well, they're now making it optional as well. So it is nice, and I know there's still the concern that COVID is still out there. And yes, you can still get sick. People are still getting sick on the cruise ship. But if we can go without wearing them and the crew feels comfortable taking them off, now some crew are still wearing them, and absolutely they should. We saw the cast members wearing masks in Disney World this past weekend. So if that makes you feel more comfortable, by all means, absolutely do wear the mask. And there's times where, we're in a crowded spot. We're like, maybe we should put a mask on, even though we've, we're fully vaccinated and all that good stuff. But they have removed them now. So for crew members, it is nice to see their faces again and see them smiling. So I do love that. And the other cool thing that just started, we've been talking about Norwegian Cruise Line, the Huna, I'm not really sure how to say that. Totem Corporation and Norwegian have officially broken ground on a new dock in Whittier, and that will service Norwegian, Regent Seven Seas, Seaboard, Oceania. Yeah, so it's gonna service 3 of the Norwegian lines. In fact, did I put it in here? Yeah, there it is. Norwegian, Oceania, and Regent Seven Seas will all be using this new pier that is expected. I think it's expected to open next year, like for at least the first calls. So as you know, or you may or may not know, Skagway's been having a lot of issues with rock slides. So this year, a lot of cruise lines had to make a decision: either don't go there at all. Some of them were tendering, just parking just offshore and then tendering people in and out, which is not always the best option. Supposedly they're working on a fix right now that they're hoping that by next year, when the Alaska season comes along again, Skagway will be fully ready to go. There won't be any issues at all. We love Skagway. You got the train ride, you got the helicopter over to the dock sleds and all that good stuff. So Skagway is a very cool little port. But now Norwegian has decided, I know Norwegian bought this land some time ago, and they've just been sitting on it. And now they're like, okay, we're going to go ahead. So Norwegian's going to have its own little place to stop now for all of their own cruise ships. So that's kind of interesting. And I know this particular corporation has built some other piers and ports around. And I believe they are going to be working on 1 or 2 more in Alaska. So there's like more piers and more ports are going to be opening up in Alaska. If you've never sailed to Alaska, oh my God, got to go to Alaska. And in fact, this past couple of weeks ago, last week, I did a seminar with a group called American Cruise Line, which we have never sailed. I think of them as a Mississippi River cruise line. I didn't realize they do the whole Northeast. They do Florida, and they do Alaska with small river ships that hold 120 to 180 people. That's it. And where they go where no cruise ships can go because they're so small. So I'm like, oh my God. I started looking at some of their itineraries in Alaska, and I was like, wow. I thought what we did on Princess with the cruise tour was so amazing for 14 days. What these guys are doing is just like, wow. 180 people on a very small river ship going in and out of all these places in Alaska. I mean, that's going to be spectacular. These things look like a ferry next to the big cruise ships is what they look like. But wow, so that's actually kind of cool. But in terms of the ocean liner, the ocean cruise going ship, I still love Princess. Princess is still what I recommend to go to Alaska, especially if you can do a cruise tour. You can take advantage of their hotels and resorts, or their hotels along the way. So we did 7 nights on land and then 7 nights at sea. I still recommend them. Of course, everybody's going to Alaska now, so it's easy enough. You can do round trip from Seattle. That's a really easy cruise with a lot of different cruise lines. But if you've got the time,
too. San Francisco.
That's right. You can do San Francisco. You can go from San Francisco all the way up into Alaska. I always forget about San Francisco, but yeah, there's a lot of options over there. You can do San Francisco to Hawaii. Go down to Hawaii, go loop around Hawaii. You stop in Mexico on the way back to get that required stop in another country. But yeah, you can go from San Francisco to Hawaii, which is really cool. You can go from Boston to Europe and back on Holland America, which is really cool. There's so many really interesting cruises out there. I'm learning so much. Like I said, I didn't pay much attention to American Cruise Line until we did the seminar. And I was like, wow, I had no idea they had that many ships everywhere, and they're building some beautiful catamarans. And B, I mean, they go to Alaska with 180 people. Holy cow. I would totally love to do something like that one of these days. I mean, that is a bucket list. That is definitely a bucket list cruise for me to do something like that. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Wow, we have gone almost an hour already. It's just so fast. Oh my God, how does the day go so fast? Or how does the hour go so fast? I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just so amazed. The hour goes so freaking fast. But and that's like literally all I have in my news. Oh yeah, of course, Artemis is going to launch again, but this time, if it does go off at the right time, it's not really going to impact Port Canaveral at all. It's actually scheduled to take off at 12:07 a.m. So there won't be any cruise traffic at all. And the window is only an hour long. So if it does take off within that hour, the hordes of people who came to watch it take off should be long gone before the cruise ships come in. So even though Artemis 1 is ready to go, if it does take off, I'm going to try and set an alarm to wake up. We can actually see the rocket launches in our backyard. I have seen a couple of the SpaceX launches, and it's especially at night. At night is when we can really see them. But I can literally see it go all the way through the second stage burn. I can watch the second stage burn end, and I can see the first stage falling to Earth. So it's kind of cool. I got the TV on. I'm kind of looking back and forth, seeing what it looks like on the TV, and I can see it falling to Earth in real time. I just can't believe we can see rocket launches from our house. It's so freaking cool. And the Cape is a good 60 miles away. So it's actually amazingly cool. That's how bright these things are when they take off. I can see it good 50, 60 miles away. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, so obviously, if you've got any cruises coming up, anybody else got any more questions before we kind of wrap this up? We've been going for about an hour. A reminder to save the date. Certainly check out the website. We got merch over there. Told you about the sale pack stuff. Got a great video showing you all the sale pack stuff to keep your phones dry and all that other stuff. They sent this to me. It actually works. I wouldn't tell you about it if I didn't think it actually worked, but it does work. It's actually really, really good stuff. So certainly check that out. And of course, you can get shirts, not just my logo shirt, but you can get all kinds of stuff over there, all kinds of really fun stuff over there. Certainly join the Facebook group. We've got the links down in the description below. In fact, I got links to everything down there. The website, the shirt, sale pack, you name it, it's all down there. And of course, if you guys need any help with a future vacation, we're always here. But we're really here just to share tips and advice and help you with any questions that you might have. If you have ideas for topics for things coming up in the future, certainly drop them in any comment on any video. Be happy to tackle that. I think I got like 4 or 5 new YouTubes coming up very shortly with 5 things of this, 5 things of that, trying to get back into more of that kind of stuff. And hopefully I'll be getting back on a cruise ship soon. And I can announce that hopefully before we get onto the Symphony, trying to get onto 1 or 2 ships so I can take you out there and introduce you to some new ships. And certainly if there's some specific ships that you would like me to go out and explore, drop those into the comments or put them into the Facebook group as well. Come on over and join the Facebook group and say, hey, Walt, I would love to know more about, this particular ship. Any chance you can go hop on it? And if I can go hop on that ship, I will go. I'll just say, see you, Rebecca. I got to go away for a few days and go get on a ship. You watch the dog. We will be getting back on Princess soon, for sure. I want to try to get on one of those ones with the gelato. There's 3 of them with the official gelato. That's one of the 3 I'd really like to get onto and sail on. But we will be getting on Princess very shortly. I've been going back and forth with the Princess social team. Actually, been having a lot of fun with that. One of my favorite things about being on Twitter, going back and forth with the cruise line social team. They're a lot of fun. So if you're not on Twitter yet, you should be. Certainly over on Instagram as well. The social media teams are a lot of fun. I don't think anybody does it better than Disney Parks. They really do it well there. Carnival does a pretty good job as well. But anyway, but yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up since everybody's kind of quiet out there. Thanks so much for joining in. Remember, every Monday night we're here on YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and then on TikTok, 10:30 a.m. on Saturday mornings Eastern time as well. So come join us over there as well. And again, if you have any questions, any concerns, down in the description, you will see the link to the Facebook group, or drop your questions into any one of the videos that are on here, and I will do my very best to get you the answer.
In 2 weeks, it's Halloween, so aren't you doing it Tuesday instead?
Oh yeah, so we're not going to do a live on Halloween because that's Monday night. Never going to be able to do a show with a whole bunch of kids showing up. So we're going to move that one over to Tuesday, November 1st. But it's all it's actually already scheduled. You can see it in our list. So thank you everybody for joining in tonight. I hope you guys have an amazing evening wherever you are. And then we will see you guys either Saturday or next Monday. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.